Okay, Gennye, thanks for joining me to talk about self-contract training level 2, which we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to know, so what were your sort of feelings and thoughts about the course, having recently done level 1 and sort of leading into the next leap of knowledge with level 2?
Well, for me personally, you just know that this is something you need to do and what we want to do. Doing level 1, it felt like a natural progression to do level 2. But that's my path, right? I want to. I know where I'm going. But to do level 2, actually, I felt ready. I actually wanted to, although I hadn't done lots and lots of readings, I'd done enough to grasp level 2. It actually gave me a better sense and a better feel for all the numbers that are involved, because it made it more like a fluent, how should I call it, like a fluent interpretation of a person, and overlay some people in their lives. So to me it was a natural progression. I wanted to also, with my clients, if somebody comes, I actually had a lady who came, and I was talking to her about soul contract reading, and she wanted it, but it was too much chaos in her life with her ex-boyfriend, and also her child and her stepmother. And so, although she's not ready anyway actually to have a reading because there's too much stuff going on for her, I just knew that would be, I want to do level 2, because I could really sit there with her and talk through and guide her through this. While as with level 1, I would feel limited because I could only give her one perspective. So so that was my. For me, it's natural though, Nicholas. I want to do this. This is the best, best kind of work and tools I've ever come across. So to me, it's natural to do this now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really sort of fits well with the rest of your practice, this work.
Yeah.
I think it sort of provides the framework for bringing all your other healing tools and practices to bear in exactly the right focused way for your clients.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very authentic when I do this,
Yeah.
So
Cool.
It's wonderful, it's brilliant.
So we had a 3-day course, and how did you find that? So
it was really cool that we did it also interactive over internet or over
web conferencing.
Web conferencing.
Yeah.
And I thought that worked really well. I didn't have a expectation of how that was going to work out, but that was really good. I felt connected to the other people that was actually not in the room with me. And also, I mean, it's an intense course, but it was fun. I mean, I didn't feel overwhelmed by it, although it's very high frequency like stuff. But no, I really enjoyed it, and you feel quite close to the people you go to the course with, because you share something quite unique.
You're sharing the deepest truth of your lives.
Something very unique.
Family, friends,
Yeah, it's very unique. So it's very, very. You just feel like you're a part of a big, family group that you can always have support and ask questions and elaborate.
So how did you find it? Sort of learning about how relationships worked and how different names you've used worked. How was that for you?
Well, because I had my own chaos going on through the course at home, it was very, it's obviously very helpful to process what was going on, in our home situation, and like how my mother-in-law, who, for everyone who doesn't know this, who was living with us at the time, how that really didn't work out, and I could really get a good perspective on how our energies, where there were clashes, and why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling without really being able to put my finger on it. Although I think anyone would say it's not healthy to live with your mother-in-law, but it was made it really quite clear. And also my daughter Frankie, and also my partner Craig, who through actually the weekend it was a bit okay, as Craig was really stressed. I stepped away, processed through the course by getting more insight and in-depth understanding of what was going on with the three of us, and I was able to actually step out of the situation, like watch the chaos, and actually know I could see the process, just know from distance, which was really helpful because I wasn't drawn into it in the same way maybe that I would have been, I don't know, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, or that doesn't mean I'm clinical about it. It's kind of just very very profound knowledge and very profound feeling that you feel having this knowledge of this work, because it just makes you feel centered and grounded and having perspective, well, all the time really. So to me it wasn't by chance this all happened at the weekend. It was obviously meant to happen. It was not by chance that what I had to deal with happened that weekend, because the energies of the course pushing onto things that are not right in terms of relationships. So it's worked out really well. It's 2 weeks ago, everything's fine. It's Craig and I and Frankie here, which is great. There's no hard feelings. Everyone has actually been able to take a step back, and my mother-in-law and Craig are really happy with the solution. It's also pushed Craig into really make a decision what to do with our home, because we're renovating it. He's come to a really good conclusion. It's kind of just pushed out stuff that was stopping us from living, healthy, and just was that catalytic just to move forward. And it's really good now because we know what we're doing, and there's actually no stress involved, and it's just turned out really well.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I can see it happening, being in the course.
Yeah.
I was able to step out and go, okay, it's a good job I'm doing the course. I want to process this now.
You found out what was really going on, in the family dynamic,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see there was a reason for it, and it was just had to be allowed to flow and do its thing, and allow the different conflicts to resolve. And
which I did. I left it to just the chaos to just kind of calm down, and then order came,
Yeah.
Really good order came out of it,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So how about this new name of yours, which came up in the course with the name optimization? Tell us about that.
I've been, since the first time we spoke about name optimization, I understand obviously what it's all about, and I knew that my name wasn't the optimum name. I kind of felt that even before I got involved with this work. But I was sitting on this name, Lion, or Leon, for some time, because I had a psychic reading a few years ago, and this name came up. And I didn't kind of ponder too much over it, but it was always there. And as I mentioned to you in the course, that every time I do predictive text and put Gennye in, like Jenn, Leon comes in as the predictive text. So that was kind of a name I wanted to just elaborate with, and I had been on my own a little bit. And I kind of knew it was going to be what it is now, like Gennye, Lion, Rainbow, Anderzon. But when I put them in the name, when I put it in the software, it wasn't working out 100%. So that's why we tweaked it. I mean, you helped me tweaking the the spelling, and it just went boom. What we wanted, yeah.
We found the real you.
The real me, yeah.
Yeah, it was always in you. We just had to allow it to emerge out. Into the light of day or light of consciousness.
Yeah. And so nothing of this is coincidence, you know. Obviously, the reading I had a few years ago, although Lion is French, you know, for lion, it doesn't really matter because it actually had this male kind of lion energy in this, because this guy was also drawing a picture of this guide who was Leon.
Yeah.
So, and he kind of looked like me, but a male version. So it's always been imprinted in me, that name. I've always thought it's gonna do something in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, so the new energies are going to infuse, or the optimal energies the soul has chosen, are going to infuse into your birth name.
Yeah.
They're like a new layer of icing on the cake of your birth name.
Yeah.
The certificate name. It's changed things quite radically already, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah.
So what happened when you got home after the last day of the course?
Yeah. It was. I could really feel the energies quite strong. Not separated, but if there was just a feeling of one energy, I could put my finger on and say, well, that's the 13 force, that's the 9, that's the 9s, you know, the power. So I came home, and I felt like I was in love with the whole world, and it pushed out. On that evening, it felt like it pushed out a lot of my disempowerment about. Because there is a small clash, as we said. Well, it's not actually small. There's 3 clashes, I think, with my daughter. And we're really close because we're similar. But it just kind of blew it out. And it stayed this way. She said, I love you so much, Mummy, for the first time. She's 2.5. And she's said this to Craig before a couple of times. And I've overheard it. And it's been hurting me, you know. Because it's like, I want her to tell me, because I love her so much. And I knew what it was all about. I knew it was the 10-1s, the disempowerment, and the clashes. And I just thought, I just want to sort that out. It was important for me to, you know, whatever imbalance and clashes we have, that was, you know, addressed, really. So and then it's been like that since. She says it all the time now. I say it, obviously. I've always said it to her, but now she's saying it all the time, and gives me more cuddles and everything.
So life can change quite radically.
Yes, it's changed it. The same evening I came home, it changed.
Yeah.
And,
that's great.
Yeah, and also actually had a good experience with my client today, because what I've been doing is, obviously, I've changed the name on the email. So when I email someone, my new name will come up. And so I'll give people a small explanation that I've gone through a process of name optimization, to explain it briefly. And he sent an email back when he booked. He said, oh, I like the read of it, you know, how to read it out really well. So I saw him today. And he just said, although he's not actively you know, doing spiritual practice, I've checked his name anyway. He's got a couple of I think he's got 9s in his talents, spiritual talents, and I think he's a 9 soul destiny. He's a strong soul. He could just, he said, I think it's great. I think it's really brave. I think it sounds brilliant. He's been working in the past. He's retired early. But he's been working in the past with just other psychological methods of how to deal with people. And he said it's really rare that, he was saying, because I'm the only child. I have a sister and brother, but I didn't grow up with them, so I was on my own, really. He said for somebody they normally conform only child, like the only child, it's quite common that they do. This is his way of, working. And he said he's really brave to do it because normally they do well, an only child, because they kind of follow what, to conform to something. But to go off and do something completely out there is very brave, and he loved it. He thought it's great. He's like, I can't wait to follow the, what's your development with this. So it's nice. Cool. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about how you feel about the workshop? And you've got a great new name to take you right out there more in your work.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that sort of happened?
I would just say do what feels right, with people. Personally, I know that I can go on fast track with all this because it's just how it is for me. I'd say to anyone, just sit on things, feel them, just listen for signs, if you feel, I think I need some tweaking here and there, I need some more guidance, just keep communication open with you, Nicholas, and Elmira, because everyone's path, I've got different pace. And that's what I'd say, and if it feels right, just go for it. Try it. Don't let it, because it's not detrimental if it doesn't work out. The new name, for example, you can change it again, but sit on it until it feels right, and then just do it. That's what I'd say.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time. It's been really wonderful hearing the uplifting experience you've had from the whole thing.
No, it's been great.
Okay.
I'm really grateful.